David, if we were standing here 15 years ago, could you describe what would we be seeing and standing on, and the change that's taken place, and how that change has taken place?
Yep. Yeah. No. This area down to our left was, even where we're standing, was completely scalded. It was very salty. This is the edge of a salty drainage line that runs down into the Castles Creek and then into the Burra River, and we had a number of these places just like this where the ground was always scalded, sea barley grass, sheep camping on it all the time, licking the ground, digging at the ground. Every time it rained there'd be a lot of erosion going on. So about 15 to 18 years ago, 1999 was when we started this different type of grazing, and this area was actually sown. We've got some tall wheatgrass in there just behind us, so it was sown with salt tolerant species, tall wheatgrass, puccinelia and strawberry clover, but really it's those species have tended to, they are persisting, but what's happened though with the grazing and longer recoveries is that the landscape has actually rehabilitated itself, and it's done that because plants have arrived. They might be salt tolerant plants, but it doesn't matter what sort of plants they are. They quickly cover the ground. You don't get any bare ground, so there are lots of niches that happen for other things to come in, and we've got a lot of umbrella grass have come in here.
Grab a bit of that, David.
Which is,
there you go.
See, this is umbrella grass. Now, we didn't sow it. It's a native species, quite a good species in summer, and so we're really happy it's here. It obviously doesn't mind the conditions here, and there are also quite a lot of wallaby grass. You can't see them now because of the time of the year, but there's a lot of wallaby grass coming in through all of this country. So yeah, that's very exciting. And the thing is that when we're sowing these big salt-tolerant pastures, it's very expensive to do that, and you've also got country exposed to the conditions you don't want, which is bare ground and possibility of erosion. So just doing it with grazing costs you nothing except understanding a few things, and then you get this wonderful result.
David, you were telling me before, those two fairly significant trees which are dead, they were obviously once alive, but struggled in here and consequently died. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, back in the late 80s we had two wet winters in 89 and 90, and areas like this, those two there, and there's a couple of big ones just round to Charlie's right, they were actually all alive in my time here, and they all died, and we had a lot of trees dying on a sort of a contour surrounding these salty areas. And so often it was on the break of slope where you had a change of geology and different soil type, and you'd have excess water with a lot of salt in it, a lot of nutrients going up into the leaves of the trees, being defoliated every year by Christmas beetles and scarabs, and the trees just ran out of gas. They just couldn't keep recovering. So and these little trees in here, they were direct seeded. All these little ones here were direct seeded, so that was part of the rehabilitation for this site. So yeah, they didn't just appear, we did actually put them there. But direct seeding has been a wonderful thing for us. You know, it's been a very cheap way to get a lot of vegetation on the place.
We'll do another video on direct seeding. I think we can talk a bit more in detail about what that actually is and the benefits, and versus a sort of the tube stock or speedling plantings. And David, those trees just there, those old trees.
Yes.
They are home to what?
Yeah, we've seen superb parrots nesting in those, so you know, they're an important bit of habitat. I mean, the trees that we looked at earlier on, Charlie was asking, you know, what's their value? I mean, they have immense value because of their hollows, but when they're alive, they also, you know, they're home for microbats. There's a lot of lizards and things live around their butts, and if you leave the branches that fall off them there, there's a heck of a lot of home for many species that we wouldn't even know what they are, but they're significant. So cleaning up around your trees might look nice, or you might think it looks nice, but you're actually denying a lot of things a home. So just think hard about how much of it you remove.
I think we all spend a lot of hours and months cleaning up timber out of paddocks for, and essentially we're removing that habitat. So yeah, avoid it if you can, especially if you're around Burrawa. Keep those trees, there's been a big campaign to keep those trees upright and to retain them as habitat for superb parrots, which are critically endangered, threatened. Anyway,
threatened,
there's not many about,
yeah.
not enough about.
Threatened for lack of habitat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks, David.
Good.